Hi guys, good morning. There might be some noise, extra background noise in this video because my neighbors are weed eating and there's cars over here. So that's what happens when you live in a neighborhood though. Too much noise. Anyway, today's temperature is 47 degrees and so I'm wearing my jacket. It's a little chilly outside and I did notice some frosty crystals on the ground, on the grass this morning. So when I notice this, I start to think of what's to come in the cold months and what I need to do to prepare, because I do not want my produce outside when the first frost hits. Now, according to the almanac, last year's frost hit around October 5th for me here, because I'm in the northern United States, so it's fairly early. But if I remember correctly, and I forgot to write it down, I need to be better at doing that. Write down your dates so you know for future years, and I will do it this year. But if I remember correctly, here in our little pocket that we live in, we actually hit our first frost in September, so this month. So I need to be aware, and I'm telling you this so you guys can be aware and realize that you need to watch for that frost date, because one, there's some fruits and vegetables that will just don't do well with the frost at all. There are others that with a little bit of a frost, they can become sweeter. Carrots, like ground root crops are some of those things. Carrots can become a little sweeter with a frost, but other things not so much. And so one thing that I've learned, not by experience, but by reading, is that pumpkins, if the frost hits before a pumpkin is ripe, then the pumpkin will not continue to ripen, even off the vine. And so it is important to watch that frost date so you can remove the pumpkins before that frost hits. Otherwise, they won't continue to ripen. So I've got some pumpkins that are still somewhat green, so I need to be aware and watch. I still have a couple weeks. Some of you may have longer. Some of you may have a couple months left before your frost. So just watch that and be aware of that. The other thing I wanted to mention today is that we're going to be doing something with this back area. So this area, we actually don't own it. Our neighbors, friends down the road own it, but the agreement was that we could use it as our own. But we went up to them this past week and just said, you know what, with 2 little kids and our own yard and garden, we're just having a hard time keeping up with that area. And so we want it to be something that they're happy with, since they technically own it, and that we're happy with. So we have talked with them, and on Labor Day, which is this coming Monday, we are actually going to be doing a lot of work in this back area, and it's going to look totally different. And so they're planning on putting in a small orchard, which is exciting. So if I can, I'm going to talk to them and see if they'll let me film, because they still plan to have it kind of a joint area. We'll still benefit from the orchard a little bit. Mostly theirs though. I'm not going to steal all their food. But anyway, so if they're going to let me film the process, then I'll have a video of that. Probably not on Labor Day, but maybe the day or two after we do the project. But if not, I will at least show before and after footage. So it's going to be quite an overhaul. We're filling in the fish pond. We are taking out all these trees back here. I know it's super bright. Let me see if I can adjust that. The sun is bright back there. So right here we've got all these cypress trees, and they are huge. And then over here we have a bunch of pretty burning bushes, but we're only supposed to get 4 feet tall, and they are huge. They're as big as a tree. And so it's overgrown back there, and it's time to pull everything up and kind of start fresh. So that's what we're gonna do back there with their help. And that'll be a very fun, hard, grueling project. I also wanted to show you some pumpkins that I have in the garden that I think are really cool. So this here is a butterkin squash, and it looks kind of like a pumpkin. It is a hybrid between a pie pumpkin and a butternut squash. So it's supposed to be a very tasty squash. And I was really excited to grow these. These were my pumpkin for this year, because I was really hoping to make some pumpkin pie filling, and I plan to. But something I want to point out is these things ended up being a lot smaller than I expected. I thought they'd be the size of a pie pumpkin. They're like a little bit bigger than my hand. So They are a bit small. I don't know if I'll necessarily grow them again to make them for food, for pie filling, but they are really pretty. They're a light creamy color, and they would be really, really pretty in decorative fall decor on my porch. And so probably will grow them again just because of how pretty they are, but I'm not going to have them take up precious space in my garden bed where I'm hoping to make food. And so won't grow them again for food, will grow them again for decoration. But I just wanted to point them out because they are pretty little pumpkins. And that's all for today. I just wanted to introduce our new project that we're going to do and give you that heads up about the frost date. Just be aware of when your frost comes or when it's getting near, so you can save your vegetables that will get hurt from the frost. And then just wanted to introduce that pumpkin because I think it's really cool. Next week I will be posting the video of that big project, either before or after photos, or if they'll let me film the whole thing, then I'll be doing that. So keep an eye out for that. I also will have some canning videos coming, and I've been canning a little bit already, but I will have some videos coming of canning tomatoes is what I plan to do. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.